r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What are some real but crazy facts that could save your life? If you ever have to rescue a drowning person, throw them something to grab onto beside yourself. If your house smells like fish for absolutely no reason, 9 times out of 10 it means that there is an electrical fire. The other time it means you need to take a shower. Had this happen whenever the heater was used. Landlord said it wasn't a big deal. About a month later called an electrician ourselves and the fuse box was screwed. Melted wires. Char. Dodged a bullet. If you get stabbed or impaled, leave the foreign object alone. Do not attempt to remove it. Yeah, it's horrible and it's freaking you out, but your odds of survival are much higher if you just leave it be. Medical professionals will remove it in an environment equipped to deal with it. Also worth noting, if you react in panic and remove the object, but then remember this fact, do not try to put the object back in. But what if they remember that and pull it back out, but then realize it's probably better left in and stab themselves again, etc. Imagine that headline: man commits suicide with mugger's knife. If someone is trying to suffocate you with a pillow by pressing it down on your face, just rotate your head to the side and there will be a small air pocket for you to breathe. They'll probably still try to kill you afterwards, but at least you can survive for longer. I got into a heated debate with my dad at a family dinner once. He was saying how he could suffocate me by putting a plastic bag over my head, and I said no, I could easily get out of that. The man went and got a trash bag and put it around my head. My survival method was to suck the bag into my mouth and chew up the bag the best I could. Totally worked. I don't know why, but this is kind of hilarious to me. You can hold a plastic bag around a willow tree branch with leaves and it will start condensating drinkable water in the bag. Any plant will do this. Does willow respire more than others? Any plant will work, but some plants will contaminate the water with other secretions as well, oils from the leaves and such, so it's a good idea to be careful about what plants you use this technique on. Willows would probably be a good choice in part because they tend to grow in wet areas. Said wet area may be underground or seasonal, so they likely have access to more water for respiration. If you're choking, don't get embarrassed. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't walk away from people. I've seen a couple people nearly die because they were panicking and walked away from the dinner tables and such while choking. Do the universal sign for choking with both your hands on your neck, and most people will get the message. I learned this from a firefighter video I saw years ago, probably here on Reddit. If you are ever choking and there is nobody to help you, lay on the floor on your hands and knees, then drop your body to the floor. This should create a sudden puff of air, pushing the food out of your throat. If at first you don't succeed, try it again. It will save your life. Damn. Okay, so I actually clicked on this post to comment literally the opposite of this. My HCP course instructor a few months ago said that if you are choking, self-saves are unfortunately quite rare and your best bet is to put yourself somewhere findable ASAP. So if you are alone in your house, and you start choking, run out onto your front lawn for example. Or grab a phone and call 911. Just do whatever you can before you pass out, because if you sit in that same dining room alone and fail your self-save, you are probably going to die. Nobody will find you before it's too late. If you crash into an electrical pole, immediately call 911, or your country's equivalent, and stay in the car. You could have downed an electrical wire, and the wire will still be live. Assume the entire area around your car is electrified. Only get out of the car if there's an immediate danger, such as a fire. When you exit the car, make sure both feet touch the ground at the same time, and only take small, shuffling steps, and make sure both feet are touching the ground at all times. There were 2 teenagers from my hometown that were electrocuted after an accident like this. Tobacco is aseptic. If you have a wound, you can pack the filing from a cigarette into it to stave off infection. It'll numb you a little too, so that's nice. If it's cloudy outside and you suddenly feel static run down your body and your hairs raise, better pucker them cheeks and drop to the ground. Lightning is about to hit dangerously close to you. Put a lid on a flaming pan to smother it and remove from heat carefully. Never throw any liquid on it. Don't remove the lid for at least 5 minutes. Not throwing water on an oil fire should be common knowledge, but it isn't. There's also probably people that know this, but in the panic of the situation, the water kills fire, monkey brain takes over. Same thing with a falling knife has no handle. Human brain in controlled situation. Yes, very wise. Human brain in uncontrolled situation. Thing fall. Thing should not fall. Stop thing from fall. If you get bit by a wild animal, you must get the rabies vaccine. Rabies is not like a flu or mild inconvenience. It's one of the most lethal diseases on the planet. It has a near 100% fatality once the disease takes hold, and it's a horrible way to go. If the ocean water suddenly recedes at the beach you're at, a tsunami is probably coming. Run, don't look at the fish. Never work under a car on a jack. Always have it on jack stands or a lift. Garage door springs will kill you if you try to fix them yourself. Fact. Springs on a car can as well. Shot one through a ceiling when I was a kid. If you find yourself stranded in a desert, ration sweat, not water. Of course don't drink all of your water in one go, but the rate at which you'll dehydrate and overheat if exerting yourself, that is, walking or hiking too fast or climbing over obstacles in the heat of the day, will kill you much quicker. Many people are found dead, with water, which is terrifying. When caught in a rip at the beach, just swim slowly along the beach, parallel to the shore until you feel the pulleys up, then swim towards the shore. This works if the rip is carrying you away from shore. It won't work if you are caught in a longshore current. To generalize, if you're out swimming and get caught in a current, tread water or float long enough to figure out which way it's carrying you, then swim at right angles to that direction until you get out. If you drive after being awake for 24 hours, your response times are impaired, the equivalent of somebody just over the drink driving limit. Maybe not to save your own life, but it could help you save someone else's. When performing CPR, chest compressions need to be continuous, deep and fairly quick. Call for an ambulance first. If you can get someone to help you, do so, because it is exhausting. For an adult, good quality chest compressions should be 2 per second and 5-6 centimeters deep. You should lock your hands together one on top of the other. Get your arms straight, lock your elbows and push with the heel of your bottom hand into the middle of the chest. Hard. And you do not stop until help arrives. The rumor that chest compressions can crack ribs is true, but trust me, they'd rather have broken ribs than be dead. Never leave unsecured heavy objects like tools on the backseat or parcel shelf of your car. In a high-speed collision, such items can kill you. Edit. Holy crap, this blew up. As others pointed out, this should also extend to lighter objects and especially passengers and pets. Don't let anyone be to call for a seatbelt in your car. Make them all buckle up. Stay safe, folks. Thanks for the silver. Not too crazy, but if someone is acting drunk but didn't add any alcohol, ask them to smile. If one side of their mouth is down, take them to a doctor cause they are having or will have a stroke. They might also be diabetic and have a hypo. Never try to fix a microwave. Yep, even when unplugged they can hold enough of a current to kill you for up to a few days. A motorcycle helmet is stronger than a skull. On that note, don't wear sandals and ride. Point at someone and delegate. People freeze up in emergencies or assume someone else will handle the problem. Point at someone and say, "You guy in the blue shirt. Go to the gate and tell the ambulance where we are. Madam, please go with him." Don't ask, "Does anyone know CPR?" Point at someone and ask if they do. Even if they don't, people are more likely to step forward in fear of being asked next and judged for not acting sooner than volunteering from the beginning. Once clinical symptoms appear in a rabies victim, it is 100% fatal. If you're bit by a wild animal, seek medical attention immediately. A moose in the rut is more dangerous than a bear. Do not approach. When you're driving down the highway, check the sides of the road for glowing eyes of animals like deer and elk. It's the best way to avoid or prepare yourselves for collisions. Ever since hitting a moose, I do this constantly. The rule of tree. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Prioritize water first in a survival situation. Edit. Many people are saying I missed 3 hours without shelter. I absolutely agree. It's very temperate this time of year here, so it wasn't at the front of my mind. Find shelter, then water in those cases. Polar bear liver contains a fatal amount of vitamin A if eaten by a human. If you are ever offered polar bear liver, politely decline. Intelligence is knowing it's a one-way road. Wisdom is still knowing to look both ways. You do not have to eat every day. You do not have to eat every day. It is far more important to find clean water and shelter than food. Focus on those first. Most people have enough fat on them to survive a really long time assuming they stay warm and hydrated. Of ever defending yourself with a knife, slash the attacker across the forehead. It will bleed like crazy and effectively blind them. The current way to save someone's life is to do chest compressions to the beat of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. More people are killed by vending machines than shark attacks or plane crashes. That stuck snack isn't worth it. Never let potatoes go bad. They release solanine gas which can render a person unconscious. This is especially important if you have a cellar or keep them airtight. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.